Hi guys, here are some tips to help you stand out in your Commonwealth Share Scholarship essays. These are general essay tips that would make your essays look original, bring them to life, and convince the people reading your essays that yes, this person really knows what they are doing and we should give them this scholarship. If you don't know, I have already read my essays on this channel, and this video has actually helped a lot of people get the scholarship. Make sure to check out the videos where I have read my Commonwealth Share Scholarship essays. The first thing you should always consider in all your essays, whether it is your SOP or your Commonwealth Share Scholarship essays, is to always use statistics. It is important to always prove whatever thing you're claiming with statistics. Let's say you're talking about HIV, a lot of people are dying from HIV, or your interest is in cancer, or your interest is in climate change. Make sure that you're using statistics to back it. Use verified websites or sources such as WHO, CDC, United Nations, and stuff like that. It shows that you've done your research. It shows that you're not just making up numbers, and it shows that you're very interested in that area of study. The second mistake that people make in essays that you should be aware of: be realistic with your plans. I know they will ask you, what are your plans 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Don't tell them, oh, you want to build the biggest company or the biggest industry in your hometown or in Nigeria or in Africa. It is not realistic. Trust me. You don't have the money, you don't have the resources. Commonwealth Share Scholarship is not going to give you money to go and build anything in your village. They're just going to equip you with education and information and maybe the experience you need to make a change. So make sure that your plans are realistic, both your long term and your short term plans. Stick to what you know. My mentor told me that even if I want to say that I want to carry out project, let it be small, realistic projects. Something like creating awareness campaigns or giving out free tests or educational activities is enough. You don't have to do something very big that no other person has done before they give you this scholarship. No, a little change is a change. Don't get stuck up with trying to talk about these big plans. You're going to buy buses to help transportation in your country. You might not be able to do that within 5 or even 10 years. So you stick to very little achievable goals. Make sure they are achievable. It doesn't need to cost a lot, but make sure you are doing something that will impact one or two lives in your community. Another thing you need to note in your essays is to stick to the things you already know and to stick to the things you already have. What do I mean by this? In your experiences, you already have some level of experience. It could be in industry, it could be in academia. Make sure that you're moving from what you know or what you have to what you don't know. I'm going to give an example. Before I got the Commonwealth Share Scholarship, I was a graduate teaching and research assistant. So instead of saying that when I go back to my home country, I'm going to vie for the post of the Senate president, blah, 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 that might not be possible, it might not be feasible, it doesn't even sound realistic. So what I said was that I was going to continue in my role as a graduate teaching and research assistant. However, I'm going to implement the things that I've learned into the curriculum of the department that I'm in to make sure that we are meeting international standards. Trust me, they will believe you because you're just adding up to what you already do or to what you already know. Don't try to deviate completely from what you are doing at the moment. Even if you're just working in a small industry or a small company, or let's say you don't even have a job, you can tell them that once you go back to wherever you're coming from, that you're going to start an NGO, a small NGO with a group of 5 to 10 people in your local community. It's very achievable and it's small. So start from what you have. Make sure that you're telling them about what you're already doing, how you're going to impact into what you are already doing at the moment, instead of trying to deviate completely from what you do or what you have. The final tip I'm going to give for your essays is to always give examples. Use the STAR approach. STAR means situation, task, action, and results. So what was the situation? Let's say they ask you a question like, what was the time that you faced a major challenge and how did you overcome it? Start from talking about the situation. What happened at that instant? What was the task? What did you set out to do? What was the action? What exactly and how did you implement this your task, and what was the result? How many lives did you impact? What change did you implement, or what outcome did you see at the end of the day? Always give examples. Tell real life stories. Even if you have to cook up a story, please cook up a very reasonable and realistic story. Give examples of how you're going to implement your goals. Don't give generic scenarios like, when I go back to my country, I'm going to join the government, I'm going to implement policies. No, that is very generic and that is very vague. Be very specific. Say something like, when I go back to my home country, I'm going to set up a committee in the Students' Union government where I already have an influence. This committee is going to look into reviewing existing policies for students in terms of maybe their transportation or their accommodation or how often they have lectures. That is realistic because you're starting from a very small place. And trust me, when this thing works, you can now decide to introduce it to other universities. Before you know it, this thing has gone nationwide or gone global. So this sounds more realistic, and you're giving literal examples and saying, when I go back home, I'm going to join the government, I'm going to change the policies of the country, as if it's easy. So make sure you're giving examples, realistic examples, and you're also telling stories. Like I said, tell stories of things that have happened to you, things that are true. Don't always focus on the big things. In fact, let me share a secret with you. People who give big plans or the big things they are going to do, most times the scholarships know that you cannot achieve this, and they might not give you the scholarship. So make sure that you're focusing on little things that are achievable. They can look at your essay and say that yes, this person knows what they want, this person knows how they are going to utilize the knowledge you are going to impact to them after this scholarship. And like I said before, I hope to get your DM soon saying that you've gotten this scholarship. You can check out other videos that I have where I've read my essays and where I've talked about things that can help you stand out in your scholarship applications. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.